Hi guys, Twane here, the legal template analyst, and today I'm taking you through our commercial lease agreement without the involvement of a real estate agent. Let's jump into it. We start off by filling out the details of both the tenants and the landlord, as well as filling out the property details and lease details. Those are things such as the physical address and rental amounts as well. We then have a space where we can fill out the tenant's shareholders, directors, or trustees information, also members of a board, anything like that, and that is then signed by the tenants and the landlord. The agreement starts off then by looking at the terms and conditions of the lease, as well as looking at definitions and interpretations of the words used within this lease. The agreement goes on to focus on commencement and occupation date of the lease itself, as well as making mention of the option to renew the lease. We then focus on the deposit and how that is going to be paid, and underpayments. It also mentions the rental amount and how that is going to be paid. The agreement further makes note of any defects and construction that may occur during the period of lease. We then move on to look at the general use and enjoyment of the property itself, as well as the laws that apply to this lease agreement, as well as also any signage and anything that the tenant may want to put up in the way of signage on the property during the lease agreement. The agreement further looks at alterations, maintenance, and repairs of the property and who is liable for that, as well as noting any change of ownership during the duration of lease. The agreement further looks at general things such as security, insurance, the landlord's right to access the property, indemnity, and also electricity and water consumption. The agreement further looks at what happens if you have a tenant that is not yet formed, so legally they are not an entity as of yet, and also makes note of any suretyship as well as termination of lease, whilst also setting out what constitutes as a breach of this contract and also the consequences of such a breach. We then have the POPI clause, which is for data protection purposes, and sets out how the tenant's data will be protected, as well as giving you consent to obtain that data. Then just some general clauses of the lease, and you can also fill out any representations by either party to the lease. And lastly, just a layout of the leased premises. And there you have it. Thank you guys so much for watching, and please let me know if you have any other questions.